Welcome back to the Reviews.org live stream. Thank you for joining us. We've already got a couple of people in the comments. I'll get to that in just a second. But today we are going to be voting on the best live streaming service. Okay, so we're talking about, free, but the best free streaming channel. So we're talking about live stuff, on-demand stuff, news stuff, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this is in large part totally selfish. I'm sure you can understand, okay? Like, look, you've been watching the channel for a while. This shouldn't be surprising. No, but the reason is that I just recorded a bunch of, best free channels for whatever device. So I did Roku, I did Fire TV, Apple TV. A couple of months ago, I did Google TV with the new Chromecast. Anyway, today, I kind of wanted to get your takes. And so instead of a top 10, I pulled together 16 free streaming services. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about it live. And it'll be a lot of fun for us today. It will also be something that I can use in the future. Maybe I'll do another round of these in a couple of months. Maybe, who knows, maybe another free streaming channel will pop up and it'll crack the top 10 or something. But I would love to hear your ranking. And we'll see how that goes. I didn't say Disney Plus. Richie says Disney Plus is not free. Okay. Yusuf said Disney Plus. Yeah, we're talking about free channels. So the Netflixes, the Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever. Those are off the table because they are not free. This has been kind of a hobby horse of mine for a little while, which is that there's a lot of amazing content that you can pay for. You can go get, I love Apple TV Plus, or you can go get Netflix, or you can get Disney Plus, or whatever you might want. But if you cut the cord because you wanted to save some money, then you don't have to pay anything. Except for the cost of the device, maybe an antenna, if you want to throw an antenna into the mix. And so, like I said, this has been a hobby horse of mine. What is the best way to get a bunch of solid entertainment on your streaming device for no extra cost? So that's what we're talking about today. We're going here. Let me actually going to share my screen here so you can see what we are looking at. All right. So this is going to be the bracket. This is just a little preview, and then we'll get voting in just a few moments. Yes, it is a very, very attractive spreadsheet. Whatever. I'm not gonna go through the process of hiding all the edges and whatnot. So we'll stick with it that way for now. Anyway, all right. So I'm already seeing some votes for Peacock, for Pluto, for let's see. Well, yeah, Disney Plus we established doesn't count. In fact, Richard said he was the first one in before we even started. Said I can't watch, but it's Pluto TV. Richie says Roku Channel, iMDB. Pluto regularly update their content. Yes, so this should be a lot of fun. Now, Richie also says, Craig's doing another live stream on streaming today. Yes, I hope you're excited. I hope this is a lot of fun. And I hope that you stick around for some of the other things that we have going on. So you can see next to me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, all of the different verticals that we cover. I'm all about, gosh, that's really tough. How do weathermen do it, right? I'm all about the TV and streaming stuff, but we also have contributors covering smart home, covering the internet, covering mobile. And yeah, the purple one kind of gets cut off. That's mobile. That's Tashaka's territory. And so we'll probably do things like this for each of those verticals because it's fun. We like to see what you all think of all these things. So to address a few things first, Steven says Lowcast. Now, there are going to be a lot of streaming channels that are not on here that are good. Lowcast is one that I left off for a very specific reason. While I like Lowcast, it's really cool. Lowcast just isn't available in enough markets for it to be, interesting as a general matter. It's available in a lot of big markets, but geographically speaking, most of the country is left out. So, and Grit TV, like I said, there's a lot that we won't get to. So I understand there are a lot of other channels. Please, put them in the comments. We'd love to hear what the other ones are. But for now, let's get into our little bracket here. In fact, you know what? Let's get rid of me for just a moment. Here's what we're looking at. The first one coming up is Peacock versus Zumo. So what we're going to do for Peacock versus Zumo is I'm going to pull up a straw poll. Let me get a link for you. Now, if you've participated in one of my live streams in the past, you've seen these straw polls before. And so I'm going to post a link, and let me see if there is a way. Oh boy, do I want to open it up? Yes, I am going to open it up. This voting is going to go on for a little while. Okay, so go ahead. I'm putting it in the chat now. Okay. And what I'm curious about is whether there's a way for me to pin that comment. So you guys go ahead and start voting. Peacock versus Zumo. Use that link to pop in and start voting. We'll let it go for just a moment while I pull up this video and see if there's a way for me to pin that comment, which sounds like a game show. Okay. So far, Peacock looks like it's winning. I think this is just and proper and right, but we only have 10 votes, so I need more people to get in there. Here we go. All right, now that message is pinned. I don't know what that means exactly. Hopefully that just means you can still find it. Okay, that's good. So we've got, what do we got? Oh, just over 10 votes. We need more of you in there. Go ahead and click on that link. I will post it one more time. Although you should be able to find it now. But yeah, go ahead and click on that link. I want at least, let's see, we got 60 people in here. Call it half of that paying attention. I'd like to get, 20 or 30 of you in here voting. Looks like Peacock is pulling ahead, though, with 70%. I'll go ahead and throw that up so you can see how we're doing. Peacock versus Zumo. Peacock is winning pretty handily now with 17 votes in. All right. No last-ditch efforts. Oh, well, there's one for Zumo. So for those who aren't aware, Peacock is a premium streaming service, much like Hulu and Netflix and all that, but they do have a free tier, which is awesome, I think. And for my money, it vaults it into the top of all streaming services because they have that free tier. Not necessarily because everybody should love everything about their library, but because I think that's a really cool way to do it, to give people that option. Hold back a little bit of your library for the premium tier. I'm okay with that. Show some commercials. I'm okay with that. Just give me that free tier. So yeah, it's I think it's a really good streaming service, and I think that it has pretty much cleaned up on this one. So let's go ahead and take Peacock forward into the round of 8. Oh no, that's not what I want. There we go. All right, so we've got Peacock. Next up is Newsy versus News On. Newsy versus News On. All right, let's get you a link to this one. All right, we've got 67 people in here. The last time I was doing this, we had like 10,000 people in here. And so I needed to learn how to pin the comments. This time, I think I'm just going to copy and paste it a few times, and y'all can click on the link at your leisure. Should be a little easier now. Let's see. Angel, are you taking questions by any chance? I want to get your opinion on something. Yeah, go ahead and throw your question in there. I will get to it as we have a moment. I'll tell you what, let's get through the first side of that bracket. We'll go through 4 of these polls, then I'll answer a few questions, and then we'll go on with the other stuff. All right, Newsy versus News On. Essentially, what we're looking at here is Newsy, which provides a lot of national news, a lot of national news feeds. They've got their own stuff to throw in there, versus News On, which is local news. If you've seen any of the videos that I've put out, as far as these top 10 free channels, News On is one of my favorites. because it is that local content. You can get your own local news, and you can get it both live and on demand, which I think is awesome. If you missed, the newscast because you were out for whatever reason, you want to come in and watch it later, you can watch it on demand. And frankly, I like the idea of promoting local news over the constant drum of national news stories. So, not that those aren't valid. It's just, it gets to be a bit much after a while. So keeping it local can maybe be a little healthier, perhaps. All right. So, oh my gosh, it's a tie of 14 votes. I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds to get in there and vote for just a few more moments. All right. Still stuck at 14 votes. I need more people in there. If it's a tie, then I'm the tiebreaker, and you know which way I'm going to go. So if you're a big Newsy fan, then basically you need to make sure you get in and make your voice heard. All right. Is it Sasha Cheyenne? Peacock did win. All right, so you are correct on that one. All right. Well, all right. I think we're stuck at 14 votes. So, and it could be that those are two of the less popular streaming channels, which is fine. But let's go ahead and move news on. It was a tie. I'm the tiebreaker. Oh, there we go. Pretty soon it's going to be Peacock versus News On. That should be interesting and not close. Any giveaways today? That's a great question. Thank you, Frayden. We don't have any giveaways today. However, I will tell you as I step away for just a moment. I will tell you, I am about to do. Oh boy, that green screen is really messing with that. There we go. I'm going to do a video on this Roku Express. And I will be giving it away, but I'm not ready to give it away just yet because I still have some more testing to do with it. And so I'm not quite ready to go through with that yet. But I will be giving it away soon. So watch out for that. I'm going to try to do these live streams now on a more consistent basis. We'll try to do them every Friday around the same time. Hopefully it'll be a little bit earlier in the day next time, but we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. Anyway, speaking of which, prepare any questions you might have about the Roku Express. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to compare the Roku TV I have, which is, I think it's a 2019 model Roku TV, so a fairly newer model, versus a Roku Streaming Stick Plus versus the Roku Express. And I'm going to do speed tests and kind of just generally compare one against the other. We'll talk about visual quality, that sort of thing, and see if, the Roku Express is much cheaper. We'll see if it's worth bumping up to the streaming stick or if people should just go with the Express, whatever. Yeah, we'll ask some questions about that. So if you have any, let me know. All right, back to it. The next one is iMDB TV versus Pluto TV. All right, so this one is going to be very interesting. Let's go ahead and pull it up here. iMDB TV is an offshoot of Amazon Prime Video. So Amazon bought iMDB and created iMDB TV, which is, to make it simple, I guess the simplified explanation is this is like commercial supported Prime Video. They've got movies, they've got TV, they've got all the stuff that you would expect to find on one of these services, but it's all commercial supported. So this would be much like Tubi or Crackle or something like that. We'll get to those. And then Pluto TV, which is already 10 votes ahead. Pluto is a lot of people's favorite. I kind of figured it would beat iMDb. Pluto is cable cosplayer, I guess is a way that we could put it. So they've got the live TV channels, they've got on-demand content, but they've got the live TV channels where you can scroll through, you can kind of channel surf in the way that you're used to with your old cable or satellite subscription. but the channels are just different, right? You don't have TNT, you don't have USA, you don't have the cable news channels. You've got kind of the offshoots of all those things. So yeah, a lot of people loving Pluto. I'm going to go ahead and call it there. That was pretty easy. All right. All right, so let's move Pluto up. We'll put him right there. All right, Tubi versus FilmRise. This one should be interesting. All right, Tubi versus FilmRise. Oh, let's do this. Okay. Tubi versus FilmRise. Tubi is the original Netflix cosplayer. It's commercial supported content, just like you would find on Netflix, just with different content. Sometimes they'll have stuff that you won't find elsewhere. Sometimes it's titles that you would find elsewhere. But Tubi is actually one interesting thing that they're doing these days is introducing live news feeds into their service, and so a lot of people appreciate that. Things like Cheddar News or Newsy, whatever, they're bringing these in. FilmRise, I really like. I like both of these quite a lot, but FilmRise I don't think gets enough love, especially today. There's only one of you voting for FilmRise, but the thing I love about FilmRise is that yes, it's a commercial supported Netflix imitator, just like a lot of these services. But they do a really great job at partitioning off different genres. So you can actually get different FilmRise apps. You can get FilmRise horror and FilmRise western and FilmRise action and FilmRise whatever. I don't know. There's a bunch of categories. But I love how they do that. They kind of section things out so that people can find what it is they're looking for, maybe a little faster if they know what genre they're after. So yeah, I love both of these. If I could only choose one, honestly, it's really close for me. I would probably go with Tubi just because I think their library is a little more consistently good. But I love that variety of FilmRise genres. So yeah, I think I'd probably end up voting with the majority of you here and say Tubi. So, and let's go ahead and call it for Tubi. All right. And this brings us to the end of this first half of the bracket. So if you have any questions, general questions, whether it's about streaming or any of the other stuff that I mentioned, any of these other things, smart home security, internet provider stuff, even if I'm not the expert and I can't provide the answer right away, I still want to hear your questions because this is going to be great stuff for me to hand over to those other contributors and say, hey, the people demand to know. So whatever you want to know, throw it into the comments. Okay, so let's see. You posted yours, Cardboard Guy. Let me see if I can find it. If I usually stream, let's throw it up here. If I usually stream on not more than 2 devices at a time, which would be a good option to save as much money as possible? So for internet access, 1 gig is $110 a month, 250 is $95. Okay, so question for you, Cardboard Guy. Is this, are we talking a gig upload speed and download speed and 250 up and down, or is this like a cable connection where they're giving you 1 gig download and maybe like 25 megabits a second upload? So are they parallel or are they different? That's the question that I need to know to make my recommendation. So yeah, go ahead and throw that in there. Cable, not fiber, consolidated internet. Okay, great. In that case, definitely go 250. If you're not streaming on more than 2 devices at a time, you do not need a gig. It's fun. It's fun to say I've got a gig. I have a gig here, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. It's fun to say I got a gig, and I can have 8 different 4K streams going at the same time. Not that you ever do. You only have 2 devices going. But in this case, it's all about the upload speed and whether you need it. So because I work on YouTube all day, I'm uploading videos, I'm live streaming, that sort of thing, it saves a ton of time to have the great upload speeds that I get with fiber. But if it were a cable connection, they're not going to give me a gig up on cable. And various reasons for that we won't get into. But it's all about those upload speeds as far as, what you need, whether you would need that. I'd say it's pretty darn rare that anybody would actually need more than 250 in download speeds, especially in your situation. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me see if I missed any others. Let's see. All right. Good. I feel like I've answered that question pretty well. Samuel says I would say YouTube TV. Well, YouTube TV not in the running right now because it's not free. We're talking the best free streaming services today. Okay. Will two Roku devices that use indirect remote control interfere with each other? They could, if you set it up in a way where they might interfere with each other. When you get a remote, so okay, you buy a new Roku stick or this Roku Express. You buy the Roku Express. Yeah, let's see if I can get it with the green screen. Oh no, okay, there we go. And it comes with a remote in the box. That remote is going to pair with this Roku Express. But you can buy a remote independently, or like you said, you can have two different devices. What you would need to do if you're having this trouble is simply decouple the Roku remotes from each device and then pair them, just only with one device each. And then the trick there is you've got to know which remote goes with which Roku device. So in my house, I have, now keep in mind, this is a little ridiculous because I test streaming stuff all day, but I have 4 different Roku remotes for 3 different active Roku devices. And so I have each of them labeled, like label maker labeled with, which device this remote goes with so that I don't get confused. Anyway, so will they interfere with each other? They could if a single remote is paired with a couple of different devices or vice versa. Like they could, but you should be all right just as long as you have each remote paired with a single device, and you'll be fine. So no worries there. Okay. Do you have Plex on this chart? I don't have Plex on this chart, Nicholas. That would have, honestly, my bad. I don't have Plex on this chart, and I should have. Okay, so you know what? Okay, you know what, Nicholas? You brought up a great point. Plex. We're going to add Plex. That is a ridiculous oversight. Plex is amazing. So we're going to put that on the back half here. Thank you for pointing that out. Oh, man. Can you imagine if I didn't have Plex? Okay. So I'm going into that spreadsheet, and I'm putting Plex. I'm gonna get rid of the Lego channel, which I love, but it's very niche, right? That's a very niche offering. So we'll get rid of the Lego channel in this case, and we're gonna replace it with Plex. So well done, Nicholas. All right. Okay, so Janet says, I'm thinking of switching to Centurylink fiber. Is it any good? Centurylink doesn't have the best track record as far as I know. I'm going to try to be gentle here and say that Centurylink is a telecom company, and none of them have great customer satisfaction scores. It's kind of a norm across the industry. That being said, you're thinking of switching to Centurylink fiber. if you have need of such a thing, if getting those upload speeds, getting the download speeds, if that is important to you, if that's why you're going for fiber, then in my opinion, go for it. But that being said, let me pull up. Let's see. If we're looking at internet, what you can do is pop over to Reviews.org, and there is a Centurylink review. So Catherine, she's our senior writer for internet and gaming. Apparently, do some gaming stuff too, but she knows everything there is to know about internet service and all that stuff. So her Centurylink review is going to be spot on. It's going to give you everything you need to know. So what I'm going to do is link to that in the chat. So Janet, if you're thinking of switching over, I wouldn't put too much stock in the customer satisfaction scores for a variety of reasons, but partly just because it's going to be the same with any company you go with. And also with a lot of user reviews. But you know what? No, I'm just going to leave it there. I'll just stop there. Personally, I wouldn't worry quite as much about it. But yeah, go check out Catherine's review on the site. Okay. Somebody said, Samuel said, how about baby boomers on the Roku? I love the baby boomer channel, baby boomer TV, but it is extremely niche. And so it didn't make my top 16, but that is a fun one. Okay, so I think we need to get over to the next bit. So let's see, I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Let's see. Okay, great. I think we're caught up. That means we're heading over to the other side of this chart. And we've got the Roku channel versus Stir. All right, so let me get a, let's see, Roku channel versus Stir. Let's get the voting thing, whatever it's called. And here we go. So Roku channel, if you use a Roku. However, what you may not know is that you can now get the Roku channel on other streaming devices too, like on the Fire TV system, Fire TV Stick, Fire TV Cube, whatever. You can get the Roku channel. And so it is spreading out a bit, and it is really, really cool. Stir is one of the ones that I recommend to somebody who has just cut the cord and wants to retain that kind of cable experience with the cable channel, or the cable feel, or the satellite feel with the channel surfing and that sort of thing. It just doesn't have, in my opinion, the library of on-demand content, and the channels that they have on Stir aren't quite as good as what you would find on something like Pluto, or even on the Roku channel, because the Roku channel has something like that built into it. But the Roku channel, let me pull this up so you guys can see what you're doing. The Roku channel also has, in addition to that kind of cable cosplay thing, it also has a lot of on-demand content, a lot of live news content, the kids sections and whatnot. It's really got a remarkable bit of content. And the Roku channel just made a bid for and won the content from Quibi. And so this is, a big deal, I guess, if you pay attention to the industry. A lot of people never even tried Quibi, which is okay. But I will say some of the content they had on Quibi was good. The gimmick for Quibi didn't quite work out. But the content is going over to the Roku channel, so you'll be able to check it out there at some point. And it looks like you guys agree with me. The Roku channel is better. I think it just does more. Does more than Stir. So let's see. Samuel, you said, is YouTube all of us? It's free. Yeah, that's true. YouTube is free. And I thought about putting it on here, but I kind of figured, we're all on YouTube right now. And I didn't want to, it seems unfair, right? YouTube is a whole different beast. And yes, it does have a streaming channel, but feels like a different beast from these others. And so I left it off. on purpose. This wasn't a Plex move. I didn't forget YouTube. I left it off. So with that being said, Roku Channel won pretty handily. So we'll go ahead and put the Roku Channel up here. All right. That's close enough. All right. Next up, PBS versus Canopy. This is a very interesting one because PBS is PBS. Everybody knows PBS. So you can include PBS Kids with this. Basically, with the PBS and PBS Kids streaming apps, you're getting all of your PBS content, right? And you're getting it for free, which is great. You just have to log in on pbs.org so they know where you live, and then they can serve up the correct local content to go with their national PBS content. Canopy, and this is kind of a twofer, I just don't have the other label, the other logo on here is Hoopla. Canopy and Hoopla give you your local library's DVD catalog digitally. And so if you log in using your library card or whatever, you get all of the DVDs, all the movies, all the shows, all the whatever that your local library has access to. You can now stream it at home. You don't have to go and check it out and then return it and all that. It's really cool. They've got a lot of great stuff on there, obviously depending on your library system, but it's very, very nice. Where am I? There I am. Okay, so PBS versus Canopy. I'm going to open up the voting on this. Okay. And here we go. All right, PBS versus Canopy. This one should be pretty interesting. I'm wondering how this one's going to turn out because I suspect that these are two somewhat lesser used streaming services, but honestly, I would encourage both of them. I think they're both fantastic. Let me know as you're voting. You can vote just based on which one you think sounds better. But I'm also curious. Go ahead and make your case in the comments for which one you prefer. Frayden says Canopy, but I do like PBS a lot. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel kind of differently. Like if I had to choose one, I would choose PBS. But I love Canopy. I think Canopy is amazing, and what a great concept to get you the digital version of all those things that you could just go get at the library. Ricky says PBS. I'm old school. Well, there's nothing more old school than your local library. No, but I get it. Canopy sounds better. Yeah, it might. So with both of these, I kind of paired both of these together because ultimately, they do have a lot of the same kind of content in some ways, a lot of the independent stuff, a lot of documentaries, that sort of thing. And so they have similar audiences, I think. The question is just which one has the content that you'd be after. So yeah, Nicholas, you use PBS and PBS Kids. I've got 2 kids under the age of 8. Believe me, PBS Kids, it gets used. All right. With 18 votes in, we're going to go ahead and call it for PBS. They move on to the next round. All right. Hey, that was pretty close. All right. There's PBS. All right. Crackle versus Nosey. Crackle used to be owned by Sony. It's not now, but or at least not with a majority stake. And now they are another Netflix competitor, another Netflix imitator, I should say. Commercial supported, free content, on demand movies and TV shows. But Crackle is interesting because what Crackle does a little bit differently is they've got their own Crackle originals. So if you're used to watching Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and you like the idea of the original content that you can't get anywhere else, Crackle has that. Now, Nosey, on the other hand, this is an interesting one. I'll be interested to see if anybody votes for Nosey. If you've never seen it before, Nosey is basically daytime TV. So you go on, it shows you Maury, Jerry Springer, Wilkos, whatever, like all that kind of daytime TV stuff that really speaks to a certain audience. It's going to be very valuable to them. To others, I'll be honest. I checked it out for a while and I have watched it, but I didn't stick around for very long. So I guess I'm just not the target audience. So go ahead and make your votes for Crackle versus Nosey. The link is in the chat. I will, maybe I'll put it in again if we need to. We have a verified YouTuber in this chat. Oh, Juan Bagnell. Oh my gosh. You guys, not only is Juan Bagnell a verified YouTuber, he is a verified contributor to this channel. Juan is fantastic. He's going to be covering internet stuff for us, the internet vertical, as we call it, going forward. So look forward to a lot of cool videos from him. In fact, I have one that is slated to release this weekend. So please, absolutely check him out on our channel and go check out his channel. His stuff is amazing. So, yes, so welcome, Juan. All right. Oh, we need to see the results. What have you guys? Okay, Crackle versus Nosey. This one was not close. That's on me for not actually pushing the results button. All right. So with that, let's put Crackle in the mix here. Next up, Dust versus Plex. All right, Plex, the last minute entry, thanks to, I can't remember who it was who mentioned it, but thank you for reminding me of Plex. Dust versus Plex. Plex, okay, so they've got a cool on-demand library that you can check out, which is very valuable. But the thing that Plex does that people should know about is its ability to house your own library of content. So if you have a bunch of digital titles, you've ripped your DVDs onto your hard drive and you want to have access to that, then Plex can help you do that so that you can watch your own library on your TV, among many other things. Like Plex does a lot of things, but those are the two kind of things it does. Dust is completely different. I didn't match these up on purpose, because I thought they were similar. Dust is an extremely niche streaming service for science fiction fans. So if you love sci-fi and you love kind of weird off-the-wall stories and a lot of times really quick stories, you can watch a lot of short films on Dust for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. Then it's really cool for that. Honestly, I can't recommend either of these highly enough. And so I'm not going to come down one way or the other on which one you should vote for. Like I said, these are both extremely different. And I am wildly interested to see what you all had to say about it. So Dust, versus Lego. Oh gosh. You know what? I forgot to change it. Oh, nope. Don't use that link. Don't do it. All right, we're going to do Dust versus Plex because I didn't change it from what I had before. Dust versus Plex. All right. Let's create that poll. Okay, my apologies. Go ahead and use this second link, and let's see what people have to say. Okay, Dust versus Plex. Dust versus Plex. Can I... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and delete that other comment if I can. There we go. Yeah, let's remove that first one. All right. Plex, yeah, I kind of figured Plex would win, although I gotta say, Dust is really cool. So all you people voting for Plex, you're 100% valid in your opinion. I just want to make sure if you've never seen Dust and you enjoy sci-fi stories, please go check out Dust. It's really cool. I actually come back to it, I don't know, a couple times a month. I'll log in when I'm looking for something to watch, especially if I want to get in and out and just watch for, a half hour or something. Dust is very cool. So I am not sad that Plex has won, but I do want to plug Dust, which is a weird sentence, but here we are. All right, so Plex wins. Let's bring up our screen here. Plex wins. All right, we're going to take another, yeah, there we go. Oh, come on. There we go. We're going to take another little break from voting for just a moment and just let you all know. So I'll leave this here so you can, I'll leave it right there so you can see what's going to be coming up soon. But yeah, if anybody else has any other questions, any general questions, in fact, I'll do this so I can, smart home stuff, TV and streaming stuff, internet stuff, mobile stuff. Hit me with your questions. We'll chill here for a few minutes and I'll sip on my 0-calorie diet root beer. Yum. So my throat's starting to get a little dry. All right. Sylvia, you've never heard of dust. Ricky, you're going to try it. Yeah, I hope you all do. It's one of those situations where there's no wrong answer, but I think if Plex went away, more people would be really devastated than if dust went away. So does that make sense? So Plex wins. Yeah. Okay. How about T-Mobile on the home internet? This is an awesome question that I am not able to answer yet because I've never tried it and I haven't seen the numbers on it yet. This is an awesome question, and I will bring this up with Juan, who you've seen in the chat today, and Tashaka. Tashaka does mobile stuff, and Juan does internet stuff. So there's kind of a cool crossover that we could do there and see what we can find out about T-Mobile and their home internet offerings. Okay. What is my TV provider? Oh, okay. Well, that's a good question. It was for like a decade, Comcast or Xfinity, well, whatever it's called. So I used Xfinity for a long time. I used their internet. So I had the bundle for a long, long time. And then I cut the cord 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. And I haven't had a TV provider since. But I do subscribe to a lot of streaming services. So if I were to show you my Roku, I've got my Roku TV here because I'm constantly referring to it and testing it and whatnot. But if I were to show you my app lists, it just goes on and on and on. I've got so many apps on here, all these free apps, everything you see here, everything you see here, I have on my Roku, and I do use most of them at least infrequently and sometimes very frequently. But most often these days, if I had to pick one that I use the very most, probably HBO Max. I really like HBO Max. It's fantastic. My standard line is that HBO Max is worth $15 a month a lot sooner than Netflix is worth $14 a month. So if that tells you anything, and I love Netflix. I subscribe to Netflix. I use it, whatever. But yeah, I have found myself using HBO Max a lot. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Socrates, using Samsung TV until I buy something, and most of these are not on there. Yeah, Samsung TV and a lot of those smart TVs, they will have, they'll have most or all of the big names. So they're going to have the Netflix, the Hulu, the Disney Plus, all that. Those kind of more premium things. But these free options, you're much, much more likely to find on your Roku, Fire Stick, Chromecast, the new Chromecast, or I guess old Chromecast in a lot of cases. What's the other one? Oh, Android TV. If you have oh gosh, what's that? What's the big Android TV device called? Well, there's the new TiVo Stream 4K that runs on Android TV. So yeah, that's where you're going to find a lot of these is on those streaming devices. As for which one of those you should get, nope. I have a whole video on it, so maybe I'll dig that up and put it in the chat. But it really just depends on what style of streaming you're going to do and what your ecosystem is, that sort of thing. So I hope you find what you're looking for. Go check out the channel. You can just search streaming sticks, and I've got a whole video on that. Okay. BS Fins, crap, I'm late. You're not late, you're just in time. We're still going. We've still got plenty of voting left to do. But we will try to move a little faster through the last little bit of it. Okay. My thoughts on the Roku soundbar. Get it. Okay. It's really cool. There are better soundbars, but if you want to reduce the clutter, get rid of an extra device, then it's really great. It's basically a Roku streaming stick plus in a not high end, but not low end soundbar. It's kind of that mid tier, really decent sound, but it's not premium home theater sound, but it's very good. So yeah, I really like it. Okay. Oh. NVIDIA Shield is the one I was thinking of. Thank you, Stephen. NVIDIA Shield is the device I was trying to think of. There are so many devices and services running through my mind at all times. Sometimes it's hard to recall exactly which ones. Okay, last question here. I picked the wrong one. There we go. Best budget internet service plans for people with YouTube TV or similar. This is going to be impossible for me to answer. I can't answer it for everybody. So here's what I'll do. In fact, I shared this link just a moment ago. I'm going to link to the Centurylink review. This was for somebody earlier who was asking about Centurylink. But the point is, in fact, here, let me pull this page up. If you pop into any of our internet review pages, especially, scroll down on the page a little bit, and you're going to find a zip code. A zip code thing, a search bar, and you can find this. Oops, there. Oh, come on. There we go. You can find this on a lot of our internet pages. So if you want to check out, what are the best internet providers. Okay, so we're going to give you a rundown on each of these internet providers. And you can find the best internet providers in your area. And so you put in your zip code, whatever that would happen to be, and we've got literally, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure every internet provider in every zip code, what speeds they offer, what prices they offer. It's a really great little tool. So definitely go check that out. In fact, I'll link to that page as well. So great question. Let's move on and do a few more of these rounds of voting. All right. Here we go. We got Peacock versus... Do we even vote on Peacock versus News? Yes, we do. Okay. I said we were going to vote. We're going to vote Peacock versus News on. See, I can't have these ones ready to go because I wasn't sure which ones were gonna win out, so I couldn't create them before. So I create them on the fly, and let's see what you guys come up with. Yeah, Ricky, this will be easy. This is not going to be a difficult one. I'll put it a couple times so you guys can find it as easily as possible. Go ahead and pop in there, and let's see. Well, personally, I'm shocked to see Peacock winning. 8 votes. Oh, come on. There's 84 of you in here. There we go. 10 votes. We can get at least 20 votes for Peacock. Not that we need it, honestly. Okay. All right. Well, enough of you have clicked through, I suppose. I'm betting there's a lot of you staring at your screens going like, why would I click on the thing? I know Peacock is going to win. And you're right. Of course, Peacock is going to win. So here we are. Okay. Peacock moved on. Okay, let's bring Peacock down here. Next, Pluto. Okay, this is a good one. Pluto versus Tubi. I suspect that you all are going to give it to Pluto, but that is not guaranteed. And these are both, I'd say this is a much better matchup than Peacock versus News on. Tubi. All right. Pluto. Tubi. Yeah, a lot of you are already saying Pluto in the chat. All right. Go ahead and, there we go. Go ahead and vote. And let's see what you come in at. I want more than 10 votes, though. Come on, click the link. Make this interesting, because this one, I love Tubi. And if the live TV stuff that you're after is mostly news, Tubi's got that for you now. In fact, I think they just added, I want to say 10 more live news channels. And so now they're up to like 30 of them? I need to go look up my numbers, but they've got a lot of live news on Tubi, so it's pretty great. A few votes for Tubi, but yeah, looks like Pluto is pulling ahead, and that didn't take much. All right, yeah, 23 votes. I am glad to see Tubi got a few votes, though. I'm glad that a few of you are at least being rebellious. Pluto's great, though. I sound like I'm arguing against Pluto. Pluto is fantastic. I really like it. Okay. Yep, we'll go ahead and call it for Pluto there. All right. Let's match them up there. Okay. Next up, Roku Channel versus PBS. Oh, all right. There's a matchup for you. And this is telling me we've got an interesting matchup coming up. I assume the Roku Channel is going to win, but I'm interested to see what will win out otherwise. All right. PBS versus the Roku Channel. Let's make ourselves a poll here. There we go. Feels like a March Madness bracket? Good. It should. Complete with not so many upsets this time. All right. When I did the holiday movie bracket back in December, I want to say early December, and there were some crazy upsets in that one. That was December madness, truly. All right. Roku Channel, no surprise, pulling ahead. Personally, I freaking love PBS, but I'm not surprised, nor am I sad that the Roku Channel is winning out. I think it's great. Okay. Home Alone, it did. Yeah, did Home Alone win that one? I'll have to go back and double check. In fact, I can check right now. And now I'm really curious. Yeah, Home Alone did win. Good call. Okay, so on this, we've got the Roku Channel winning out. We're getting closer and closer to our final matchup. But first, the last in the round of 8, Crackle versus Plex. We've already talked about these. I'm not going to do it again much, but Crackle versus Plex. Let's go ahead and make up that poll here. Make your cases in the chat. Try to convince each other. Plex being the late entry and an absolutely vital one. Crackle. Okay, yes, I can spell Crackle. Fine, I can spell Crackle. All right. It is a tough one, Ricky. You're right. That is a tough one. But nevertheless, you must choose. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, you must choose. Rosemary's, or no, what was it? Sophie's Choice. Yeah, you must choose. All right, let's see what we got here. Crackle. Oh, I'm too big. There we go. Now I am the correct size. Crackle versus Plex. Oh boy, this is a good one. 12 votes in. All right, I need a bunch of you in there. Crackle is winning out. Interesting. If I were predicting, I probably would have predicted Plex. But this makes some sense because I think Plex, for those who actually use Plex to its full extent, they are like evangelists for it. They love Plex. But for those who don't use it for that kind of personal library stuff, if you're just looking around for on-demand content, Plex is good, but it's not going to stand out from the crowd. You're not going to be as interested in it as maybe the other folks are. So Crackle does have originals. SpongeBob SquarePants. So yeah, okay, it's looking. Oh, you know what? I need 5 more votes. I'm not going to end this until I get 5 more votes. This is too close to call. 11-10 for Crackle. See, there you go. I need 4 more votes. Let me give you that link one more time. Crackle is on Plex. There you go. You know what? Juan's got a point. That's a good point. Crackle is on Plex. All right. So, yeah, Plex is winning out. Do I get one more vote? One more of you clicking on that. That's all I want in all my life. This is the thing I want the most. For one more okay. And they did vote for Crackle, but it looks like Plex did win out. So you guys crack me up. Okay. Wait, who won? Yeah, Plex. I'm going crazy. This is what happens when you live stream for too long. You start going completely nuts. All right, so Plex wins out. Oh. We'll do 2 more votes. We'll take a little break, answer some questions, and then we'll do the final vote. Actually, here, let me pull that back up. We've got Peacock versus Pluto TV. You guys, this is going to be really interesting. Peacock versus Pluto. Okay. Peacock versus Pluto. Let's see what you guys got. Final 4. Angel, hold that question. I'll get to that in just a moment. I'll try to remember it, but if I don't, I'll have you put it down again. Okay, this one should be interesting. Pluto, the kind of the original-ish cable imitator, versus Peacock, the new kid on the block with the free tier of premium content. All right, looks like Pluto is pulling ahead pretty handily. But we'll wait for a few more votes to come in. Oh, it's pulling even further ahead. I'd like to get up to 25 votes if we can. I'll give you you can't, Ricky said, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't vote. It's Sophie's choice. You must vote. You must click on the link and vote. But Peacock has Law and Order. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Oh, that's right. WWE Network is heading over soon to Peacock. They are getting a bunch of new wrestling content. That's pretty cool. So, all right, we got 25 votes, and Pluto is 26 votes, but it's up 58% to 42. We're going to call it there for Pluto. Sorry, Peacock. You know what? Here's my contention. I'm betting that if we give Peacock, another year or 2 to gain popularity, gain some momentum, I bet it'll start winning that vote. But for now, we have, lastly, there we go, the Roku Channel versus Plex. Roku versus Plex. Okay, the last semi-final vote. Start making your cases. Roku Channel versus Plex. Okay. Roku Channel versus Plex. Let's see what you guys want for this one. Let's see. Ricky says the biggest issues with Pluto is the commercials. Well, that's going to be the case with a lot of these free streaming services. You're not paying for it, but they have to pay for the content somehow that they're providing for you. So if you're not going to give them $10 a month, you're going to have to watch some commercials. More than likely on most of these. Okay, is this Ryan Ruckman? I have a suspicion I know who that is. Is this even going to be close? Oh, whoops. There we go. Right. Yeah. A lot of people are saying Roku, and we are, let's see. We got 21 votes. I've been shooting for 25 on the others. So Roku Channel versus Plex. Roku is winning out. This is kind of what I expected with the last one when it was Plex versus Crackle. But But yeah, Roku Channel, this makes a lot of sense to me. Oh, Ricky says, yeah, they're mostly really bad commercials. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. 23 votes. Roku Channel takes it. We'll call it there. And pull up our chart here. The Roku Channel versus Pluto TV. Oh, start thinking. Start making your case in the comments. That's fine. But mostly what I want right now is if you have any last questions. We've been going now for over an hour. The stream has been going for over an hour. And my voice is starting to get tired. So we're going to be wrapping up soon. But if you have any last minute questions on any of these subjects, then just let me know. In fact, I know there was one that I was going to come back to. So I can't remember who that was. You're going to have to list it again. Okay. Okay. Okay, so somebody said, what about Cinema HD? It's an APK. You know, I don't do a lot with APKs on this channel for various reasons that I think I'd rather not get into right now. But that might actually make a good subject for a video later on. Why don't we talk about APKs more on this channel? So I'll keep that in mind. All right. Let's see. So Fabian from Germany says that live TV in the US is just too pricey. Well, that may be the case. It's a market with a lot of competition and you know, a lot of content, a lot of viewers, and so there's a lot of money to be had around here. Of course, there is in Germany too. Okay. You already know who's going to win. Well, maybe you do. Okay, Samuel, maybe I don't. We need to find out. Okay, let's see if there are any other questions. I know there was one that I missed. I'm just going to scroll up a little bit and see if I can remember what it was. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, well, there's one. Maybe there was one other. How do you feel about the Sling price hike from 30 to 35? Well, how do you think I feel about it? It's not great. I wish it wouldn't happen. I'll leave that up for just a minute. Sling TV raised its price for $5, and they even raised the price for the combo package, the orange plus blue. Essentially, what it comes down to is, and this actually kind of feeds into what I was just saying about Fabian's comment earlier. There is a ton of content out there. There are a lot of eyeballs, but when it comes to traditional TV channels and traditional TV services, or I should say, let's stick with the channels, the stuff that Sling TV offers, the stuff that you get on YouTube TV and Hulu Live and whatever other live TV streaming service that you would pay for, the stuff that you're getting on cable, they are competing now for a smaller and smaller slice of eyeballs in the US. And so because of that, because the content, generally speaking, I mean, we could argue about this point, but the content is still wildly expensive to produce. These channels are extremely expensive to run. You know, imagine filling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year with stuff for the USA channel, you know, if you're NBC, or, you know, pick a channel, any channel, you got to fill that with content. That is expensive. So anyway, as fewer people are watching that traditional live TV content, you are going to have to hike prices on that. It's just the kind of the nature of the market economics at work, because there are fewer people involved, because the advertising dollars are shrinking, because there are fewer people watching it, so they can't charge as much to the advertisers, and it's a whole thing. So, sorry, that was an extremely long way to say I get it. And I'm not mad about it, but it does just kind of make me go, well, you know, it's the long, slow death rattle of these traditional channels, these old school channels. So, so we'll enjoy them for as long as we can, as long as the prices are at least kind of reasonable. Whatever that means, that'll mean something different to everybody. But yeah, I wish they didn't have to raise their prices. Okay. Just making sure I didn't miss it. Miss anything here? So people are talking about, oh, okay. You know what? T-Vision from T-Mobile, I haven't tried it. I'm actually, I'm a Verizon customer, so I haven't tried T-Vision. But I'll run this one by Tashaka and see if that's something that we can look into. You know, maybe getting him a little time with T-Vision and see what he has to say. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. It's the final. I've held you off. I've lost 10 viewers while I was talking about, you know, market economics. That's what you're here for, right? Is market economics chats. I know. I get it. I'm very good at streaming, you guys. Okay, so here is our final. We've got Pluto versus the Roku channel. Pluto TV being the big cable imitator with on-demand content as well. Roku being the giant and getting gianter on-demand service that also includes live content. Also, so they're very similar services, but almost opposite, I guess I would say, in how they emphasize their content. So this, somebody said this should be an interesting one. I fully agree. This is going to be very interesting. We'll do Roku channel versus Pluto TV. All right. Create this poll. I will share it with you, and we will stare at the results together. Virtually the same, but not. Okay. Pluto TV versus the Roku channel. Let's see what you guys got on this. Go ahead and click on that and vote for your favorite. I will say, the Pluto TV, somebody said, yeah, they're virtually the same, but Pluto viewers seem to be like partisans. They are rabid followers of their favorite free streaming service. Pluto they have fans. Like some of these other services that we've talked about today, they have viewers, you know, that may pop in and out or whatever, but Pluto seems to have fans. And that is showing here as we've got 26 votes in. Let's see if we can get up to 30 votes. If there's any chance of the Roku channel coming back, or if the Pluto partisans are going to walk away with this one. Janine is saying Roku. Socrates says, you wish you could search easier on Pluto. I fully agree with you on that. None of these is a perfect service. But yeah, let's see. Samuel says Pluto is one, and I think I have to agree. This one is interesting. Roku is going to have Quibi. I'm sorry. I thought you said Roku is going to be Quibi, like it was going to die and disappear. I was going to quibble with that, but yeah. All right. With nearly 30 votes in, let's go ahead and call it for Pluto TV. Although, really quickly, I will say, Gabrielle says, or Gabriel, however you pronounce it. Sorry. Pluto TV is everywhere. Roku is not. Yes and no. Roku is getting to be everywhere. Roku is no longer just on, the Roku channel is no longer just on Roku devices. You can get it on other devices now. So, let's see. You know what, Asad, hold this thought. I'm going to come back to this. That's a great question, but we're going to come back to that. Let's go ahead and crown our winner first of all. We're going to take the Roku channel. We'll take Pluto, and you know what? Oh, whoops! It deserves its place right there in the middle. Oh, look at that! See what thou hast wrought, you voters. Well done. Pluto TV wins it. This is according to the people. The people have spoken. This is the best free streaming channel available. So I'm not mad about it. I think that's a great choice. I think you all have voted very well. Yeah, well done. Well done. Okay, so with that being said, let me just once again preview what's coming up. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be looking to do this type of fun bracket voting, kind of contest, having a discussion with all of you in the chat about it on all of these different subjects. And so that's going to be coming up in the weeks and months to come. I'm going to try to do this every Friday, and we will be doing giveaways. So for those of you who weren't here earlier in the stream, stuff like this, I'm not giving it away today because I still have to do some tests. I'm going to pull this out of the box and do some comparison testing between the Roku Express and the Roku Streaming Stick Plus and the Roku TV I've got hanging up here, and do some fun comparisons with that. I'll do a video that'll be coming up later, in a few weeks on that, and then I'll give that away. And we'll have a lot of little devices, things that we test to show you guys on the channel. We'll give those away during these live streams. So make sure that not only that you're subscribed, but that you've got the bell icon hit so that you can see, especially on Fridays when these live streams come up. I'd love to see you all here on this channel. And make sure you go, if you have any questions about the services that come along with all of these, we talked about it a little bit earlier. If you want to know about Centurylink, or if you want to know about some of these other service providers for internet, cell phones, for TV, for smart home stuff, then go to Reviews.org. Make sure that you get very, very familiar with the website. I will admit, this is coming from somebody who works basically on YouTube all the time, and so I'm not writing content for the site as much. So you can take it with a grain of salt, but take it from a guy who gets to observe the Reviews.org website. It's amazing. They do really great work, and I hope you all go and check it out on a frequent basis when you have questions about these services. Okay, so that being said, there was a question that I wanted to address very quickly. Okay, free VPN. This is something that comes up quite a bit when I talk about free channels, because you go the VPNs that are always advertising on podcasts or whatever. You're going to pay $3 a month, $5 a month, whatever, for this VPN service. You can go get free VPN services. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Don't go get a free VPN. It is more often than not going to be just a vehicle for malware. So don't use it. Keep yourself safe online, please, and pay for your VPN. If you're going to use a VPN, then it should be a well-known brand that you are paying for so that you know how they're making their money. Sorry. Okay, that's my soapbox, my VPN soapbox. I wanted to make sure I got to that. I will give just a couple more moments for questions and comments. Did I miss Craig is always right? Unfortunately, yeah, kind of. No, you didn't. You've been here for a few minutes. And the thing about Craig is always right is that it never stops being true. So as long as you're here at some point during the stream, you're not going to miss it because I'm always right. It's always true. Can you get the Google Play app on a Roku TV? Not as far as I know. That's a good question. I'm tempted to to go check it out right now. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. You can. Yes, you can. I've never tried to do that. You know what? Janine, you're a genius. I am going to go explore the Google Play app. Of course you get. Oh, it's the movies and TV. Okay. I apologize. Of course you can get it. I was thinking of the entire ecosystem of Google Play. This is the Google Play movies and TV. So if you buy something on Google Play, then yeah, you can go watch it on your Roku. I guess maybe because I've got, Chromecasts and all that, I've never felt like I had to do that, but that's a great call out. Okay. Richie says, thanks for the spectacular stream. It was spectacular. This was a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. And hope you're around next Friday as well. Again, ring the bell so that you get the notification when we go live. And also so that when we do other videos throughout the week, so that you can pop in, even if it's a subject that you're not that interested in, you can still go in and hit that like button and just smash the algorithm. Help the channel. We'd love that. It's great support for the channel. Just go in, like, leave a comment. We love seeing you all throughout the week as well. So, all right. Thanks again, everybody, for this, 75-minute live stream. And I will see you throughout the weekend on videos that are coming out. And then again next Friday for another live stream. I'll see you then.